speaking of marketing fluff, Workday, I think, has won this week's prize for marketing fluff in that they announced, what are they calling it here?
A
Their
agent system of record.
agent system of record. So honestly, I read this thing 3 times. I'm still not sure what the heck it is. So the idea is a platform that allows you to manage people, humans and agents together in one place. They have their own marketplace of agents. They have their own agents. That part sort of makes sense, but they're claiming all agents anywhere. And I don't, for the life of me, they don't explain in any way, shape, or form how they would do that or what that means or what, unless it's just a catalog where I type it in. It's like, I don't know what that means. So I don't know if you had more, if you've been briefed on it, but it was very confusing to me.
Yeah, so this is a problem that we're going to talk about in the next section as well. But basically, we know that enterprises are going to have this challenge of managing thousands and thousands of agents, and they're going to have to track it in some way. Workday is taking the thesis that agents are similar to employees in some ways in terms of the skills they have. So they're putting this inventory of agents together, and they have this vision of showing what skills the agent has and what roles the agent has, what maybe departments the agent might be assigned to, and then being able to do things like cost and ROI and all this other stuff. When I've asked Workday about this so far and had to try to also answer this question for clients, it's actually been a bit of a challenge because what I can get so far, I think there's not much more here than basically the ability to inventory your agents, which I do think is a necessary starting point. But as we know on the IT side, the real challenge is going to be about orchestration and upgrading and support over time. All these things that Workday isn't seen as the expert in doing from an IT perspective.
Well, and I don't, we were talking about it before we started recording that there was some other company like 6 months ago that made some noise about trying to manage AI the same way, and they were roundly ridiculed. And I don't know if Workday is going to get sort of the same reception, but I think it speaks to, well, it speaks to things. I think it speaks to a bit of a flailing on Workday's part. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Workday in general, and we know that they're trying to shift and broaden their base. But I look at this and say this is this fear that we're gonna, I don't know, have humans replaced by AI, and therefore we need to pivot so that we don't get left behind. But I think it's a completely flawed metaphor. I mean, I know that we often will talk about it in this way, but there's very little evidence of us actually replacing humans with AI at this stage of the game. And as we just talked about, not all agents like the Snowflake agents we just talked about, they're not really replacing a human in the traditional way. We're taking specific actions that make sense and we're using them to drive automation or to provide assistance or to augment a human in the loop or whatever it might be. And so I think, the broader question of how we handle AI governance is extremely legitimate and more than legitimate, necessary.